What's going on, guys? I am Josh, also known as Anti-Pro.
And I'm Mike Bison, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike.
And this is BossFight TV's The Reload for the week of December 26th to January 2nd. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
I hope you all had some good times and some good hangovers. Not bad hangovers, but good as in not bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You know.
I've never had a good hangover. I'll say that. Here we go.
Well, this one time at band camp.
Right.
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, so we would like to welcome you all into the new year. Hopefully, this new year will spell great things for the esports community as a whole, because we got some crazy cool games, hopefully.
There's a lot to look forward to.
Definitely.
A lot of great tournaments and great
experiences. For real.
For realsies.
Before we get started, though, we do want to let everyone know that we are starting a new thing every episode. iHeart Esports is actually going to give out stickers. We're working together, as you know. They're one of our first sponsors, or should I say they are our first sponsor. So Jason and I were talking the other day, and he was like, hey, why don't you guys give out stickers during your episodes? So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a code word each episode, and you're going to have to follow us at BossFight TV and then at iHeart Esports. And all you have to do is put that code word in there, and you'll be entered into the drawing. So we're going to draw, like, I don't know, anywhere from 2 to 4 people each episode. So be on the lookout later on in the episode, and we'll be giving you the secret code word.
Code word is...
We don't even know what the code word is.
We haven't come up with it yet.
Yeah.
Off the top of our head.
I'm sure that we'll come up with one.
Right.
It'll be pretty easy.
Your guess is as good as ours.
Yep. So you could tweet someone right now, and you could tweet us right now, and it might be right. Think about it.
Yeah.
All right. So jumping right into the news, the esport news, there still isn't a lot going on, or there's still nothing went on, but there's stuff coming up really quick. The beginning of the year has a lot of tournaments, including the ESL. The ESL is going to be really, really busy. And the interesting thing about the ESL is they're going to start a new StarCraft 2 league. But instead of, inviting, players from various teams and individual players, they're actually setting it up like a country tournament. So it'll be like Team USA versus Team Korea versus Team Germany versus team whatever. So
AKA first place, second place, third place. USA, Korea, Germany. I'm calling it right now.
USA
Prediction.
first?
USA first. USA. USA.
Ooh.
No pressure.
No pressure. As much as I want to root for my USA team, depending on who gets through the qualifiers over in Korea, it's going to be a hard...
This isn't going to be like WCG. This will be completely different.
This is going to be...
I'm calling it.
USA, though.
2012, USA. We're taking it all. Everything.
Interesting. So there's actually 35 countries signed up so far, which is quite a lot. And the national teams will be announced sometime in January. There are qualifiers, and the qualifiers are being held by, the ESL local tournament organizers. And the tournament is going to happen early this year sometime. So look forward to that. And there's a couple other ESL things going on that you've been paying attention to, Mike.
Kind of staying in with the theme of StarCraft 2. This year, ESL will be in South America for the first time ever.
South America?
In February 7th to the 11th. So right now, they're placing the qualifiers to get new players in, get seeding ready for everything for the tournament. As far as South America goes, they already have their players are already seeded and ready to go. And that is Felix, Killer, Portugal, and Tunico, who actually won. They're already in the bracket, but they actually had their first qualifier from Europe, and that was, as I'm looking down at my notes, I lost it. There it is, Feast. Which, if you've been following the ESL season, Feast has actually won 2 or 3 qualifiers already, so he's heavily favored in the European scene as one of the top players. And then coming down the road here, we have on the 4th, 7th, and 8th, we have the American qualifier. So very exciting. We'll see which players from America will get to go to South America represent in ESL. And then also going on at the same time, we have the ESL Master Season Series 9, which they're getting ready. They're already through the preliminary group stages. We're getting ready to go into the second round. But the big news is that some of the games they're featuring, they're doing both Counter-Strike and Call of Duty 4. So they're bringing Call of Duty 4 back.
Call of Duty 4?
Call of Duty 4. Which was actually really big in Europe. And so they're kind of, I don't know if they're testing the grounds to see if the community is still active or not, but that's very exciting to see. As well, they're also doing League of Legends and Han.
Ooh.
So again, kind of, a widespread of games going on, as well as Quake Live, which, go Quake Live.
Go Quake.
It's in it.
Got the old school guy right here. Woo, Quake.
So that's interesting to see that they're kind of, they have these similar style games kind of combating with each other and really pulling, Call of Duty 4 back into the competitive scene, which is great. But there again, we have games like Battlefield and, even the new Modern Warfare 3. I mean,
right. And then eventually Counter-Strike Go.
Counter-Strike Go, and we'll see what happens with this. Maybe this is a test. ESL has already announced that they're doing Battlefield 3, 8-on-8 conquest mode, so we'll see what happens.
Indeed, we shall. Also, we're going to jump into some GSL action. Seriously, overall, there's a lot of stuff that's going to hit really soon. This is actually going on right now, and it's the GSL Arena of Legends King of Kong tournament. Now, Mike, do you know what a Kong is?
Well, I was going to say I was very disappointed that there was actually because the King of Kong documentary movie, I love. If you don't have it, get it. One of my favorite movies of all time. Movie buff and documentary buff wise, it's a very good movie. But that's the story about the guy, Steve Wiebe, trying to set the world record high score for Donkey Kong. So I'm like, yeah, Donkey Kong and eSports, let's do it. We got this.
I don't think the GSL does.
Apparently.
I'm pretty sure the GSL doesn't do Donkey Kong. Yeah,
it'll
happen.
Sure. They do it at E3. It'll happen. But anyway,
it's the GSL, man.
In Korea, what does Kong mean? Please inform me.
All right. So basically, what a Kong is someone who places well, normally second place, and they place there consistently. They never really brought it back up to the next level. And there's a whole set of history behind it. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but back in Brood War, they came up with this term Kong, and it has a pretty rich history. So they're trying to figure out who the King of Kongs is. So
that kind of makes me want to change my name to Kong.
Kong,
and just play second in every tournament. Mohawk Kong.
Mohawk Kong.
Mohawk Kong.
Oh man. Anyways,
continue.
So we have the list is we have Rainbow, July, Inca, Marine King, Lysira, Top, Leenock, and Donrigu, which makes 3 Terrans, 4 Zergs, and 1 Protoss. Oh, my Protoss buddies out there, seriously. You need to step it up. But that must mean the Protoss are winning.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying.
They are broken. We must limit them to 1 entry.
1 entry. But the tournament's actually going on right now, and they've actually gotten into the semifinals right now. And so we have Lysira versus July. Or, I'm sorry, Lysira versus MKP. Or no, I was right. Lysira versus July and MKP versus DRG. So that's going to start pretty soon. So stay tuned to the GSL for all the information going on with that. So that should be an exciting tournament. And also with the GSL, they just announced I can't remember if it was right at the first of the year or right before, they released the Code S groups. And I'm going to go over them. I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but if you go on to BossFight.tv, there's an article on there about it, and you can take a look. But I'm actually going to just kind of touch on a few points here, some interesting points. First off, Boxer's back in Code S. He's in Group A, and he's going to end up going. Another person in there is Jock G, which won Code S. So that'll be kind of cool to see how Boxer, the old school, original gangster Boxer.
I kind of like some of the seedings and some of the groups.
Right.
I mean, it's almost like
there's some crazy.
Which group were we talking about the other night?
We're talking about Idra.
What was the one? Yeah.
Okay. Idra. I am going to be rooting for you 110%. Okay, because let me give you Idra's group here. We have MVP.
Ooh.
We have Lucky.
Ooh.
And we have Ness T,
Oh, jeez.
known as probably one of the greatest Zerg players in the world. So, Idra, man, come on, please pull out a win, please. We are rooting for you for sure. And then looking at a couple other ones there. There's another interesting. Leenock and MC are in Group B. But seriously, just go look on the website. They all of them are listed there. But there's 15 Terran, so Terran is pretty strong still in the GSL, and we have 8 Protoss and 9 Zerg. So interesting stuff. Idra, rock it out. We hope you do well, man. Also, we have the Homestory Cup, which is coming up as well, and that's on January 5th through the 8th. And there are a lot of notable players that are going to be attending. I'm just going to list off a few here. This is not all of them, but we have like In Control, The Muslim, Rhett, Marine King, Hero, all sorts of people like that. And actually, I was really saddened because the other day on Twitter, Huck was like, "Hey guys, like I need a little break, and I'm not going to the Homestory Cup," and it made me sad. So Huck, I love you, and I can't wait to see you play in another tournament. Yay! And then finally, lastly, we've been StarCraft heavy right now. Evil Geniuses announced a new player. Now, here's the funny thing. When we were filming the last episode, I came in and I was like, "Hey, all this crazy stuff's going on Reddit, and apparently EG is going to pick up, DRG, and all these people on Reddit are making all these fake accounts and everything." And the funniest one was EG Obama.
EG Obama.
So it had a picture of Obama with like Astros on his head, and he was like, "Hey, Sir Scoots, we really messed him up with that DRG post, huh? When do I move into the team house?" But they announced it, and it's JYP, which is actually where they got Hero from. He came from the same team that Hero came from. So awesome stuff. It's really cool to see teams here in the United States picking up foreign teams picking up Korean teams. So definitely that is going to be really exciting coming up here. So moving out of StarCraft 2, there's a lot of StarCraft 2 stuff. I'm sorry, guys. But what else we got going on, Mike?
Well, you know how it's a new year, so we might as well start out with a first. This is the first time we're actually going to talk about major competitive Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 play.
Modern Warfare 3.
On the console, which is great.
Oh, man.
For those of you who don't know, everything is kind of a guessing game right now. Whether or not, like for instance, like MLG, we don't know what games are going to use next season. So there's a lot of support from the community right now. Right. So for instance, we have things like Halo Nation. They're trying to pull the teams together and like show that the community is still there. It's still as competitive as ever, and it should be picked up for next season. And on the other spectrum of that, you have Goldenboy.
Alex Goldenboy Mendez.
Who is running his own invitational style tournaments. And this that was this weekend. That was the first. That was on the first of the year. They did their first. It was Steel Series sponsored it, and then also it was CSN and then Team Fear.
Yep.
All came in collaboration together to run this online tournament. Which they streamed the whole tournament, and they had Corey Dunn was there shoutcasting, and a lot of other members of the community.
It was enjoyable.
It was great.
I loved it actually, and it's funny because I watched some Call of Duty like working at the MLG events and everything, and I will have to say that it's not my favorite game to watch, but I had fun watching it.
It was fun.
Goldenboy and Corey Dunn, like, they killed it. It was awesome.
I'll be honest, Goldenboy at Providence, I didn't enjoy him so much as a spectator.
But I like Goldenboy.
He had just, I think that was because that was his first major event, shoutcasting, and he just kind of moved in. And I know there's a lot of stuff from the community talking about Corey Dunn, like, oh, he's boring, and I don't even need to see the game because he shoutcasts on everything and every comment. I like it. I liked it overall. And
because you're one of those old school guys. You turn off your monitor. So you pretend you're listening to the radio.
I've been a fan of Corey. First off, at Consider It Done, I really enjoy all of your shoutcasting since the first days of TSN and Counter-Strike. So I've been with him for a long time. So I know his style. I know how everything works. But just in general, they worked a lot better as a team now. And then they had a lot of major teams come out and actually play in the event, and it was really fun to watch. I actually called my brother up, and he came over, and we were watching it. Friends, just a lot of action going on.
We had a bunch of people on Skype watching it.
Yeah, we were all watching it together. So there's actually going to be more. I know that he had just tweeted. Was it at Goldenboy?
It's at Goldenboy for the win.
Just posted
or
that
FTW. Sorry.
They've got another 16-team tournament coming up here soon. So
we'll get I'm not sure what date is set or whatever, but you can check his site. It's Goldenboy on my level or GOML. But yeah, check out at Goldenboy FTW.
Yep.
He has all the information there.
But anyway, enough of that. Into the actual tournament. As is mentioned, this is kind of the first. Except for like the XP event that actually was hosted by Activision and before Modern Warfare 3 came out, this is the bigger one to actually see how the competitive, how it works as a competitive game. First place, Force, which got to give shout out to Ohio Pride.
Force, man, they
captured the flag there. They're so mean.
What was it? Was it Columbus that Force? I think it was.
Came out of the open bracket.
I want to say it was Columbus. They came out of the open bracket. And they got all the way to the finals. Yeah. And, all these people were like, who are these guys? Yeah. And now they are out there kicking ass and taking some names.
Yep. So Force got first place. Second was Obey. And third place was C3, which kind of looking at their team rosters, a lot of teams are kind of dropping and picking up players. So it
you mean like Halo?
Yeah. Should be interesting to see going into the next season. But this was a great event to watch. The competitive play of Modern Warfare 3, see how the new teams are reacting with different players and different styles.
Right. And it's interesting because, there are no set, game types and settings out there yet. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of just testing the waters, and it's interesting to see, how everything is moving going into the tournament season this year. So
which I'm not one who usually subscribes to the rumor mill,
right?
But just for secrets, I may have heard that MLG is going to use Modern Warfare 3 on Xbox 360 and use nothing but search and destroy. Just saying.
Now, I heard Xbox 360, but I didn't hear the search and destroy part.
I think that rumor might be generated because Counter-Strike Go is going to come out, and I think MLG is looking to pick up a PC team game. So it's all rumor right now. And
it's all rumors. It's all out there. Really, honestly, like you never know what's going to happen until it happens.
Right.
Because honestly, I have to say like Sundance does a really good job at like
keeping things secret,
hinting at stuff in a way that makes you think it can be one way, but it can totally be the other way too. Right. So it'll be interesting to see how that rolls out. But that was a really cool tournament to watch.
But kind of one last little bit. At the end of the broadcast, Corey Dunn was actually on there, and Goldenboy was thanking him. He's like, "Hey, thanks for coming on and casting and supporting the community." Corey Dunn made a statement that as big as the casual, not just the casual, but just how many people play the game of Call of Duty, how many people know the game about Call of Duty, that if they were to get 1% of the community to start supporting and like watching live streams and tournaments and things like that, they would get bigger than StarCraft 2.
I'm going to interject.
Okay.
I'm going to interject here. That is true on a certain level. But I do have to say, because you did let the word slip casual player, and I think that Call of Duty has a lot of people that kind of play the game just because it's like, the current blockbuster. And when the next game comes out, they're just going to pick it up and keep playing. And those people don't necessarily play other games. Those are the people who go in, they play a game, they beat it, and then they'll take it back into GameStop and go get the next game. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Don't be that guy.
No, I'm being that guy right now. Okay. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of really cool hardcore players out there. I'm not dogging on everyone, but I'm saying like that big percentage that I'm talking about, compared to the people who watch and dedicate time to playing and watching StarCraft 2, I don't know if it can happen.
I will say this. I think that it is possible.
Right.
It could become a very big game, spectator-wise. Mm-hmm. But the other thing, too, is I think the same argument was made for World of Warcraft.
Right.
And when like MLG and WSVG and all these events started doing like PvP tournaments, they didn't really pan out as great as they thought they would. But
yep. That's just my 2 cents on the subject.
We can talk more about that later.
I'm sure that'll pop up somewhere.
Right.
So what is he? We got Level Up.
Level Up
Hosting some tribes.
Level Up has actually began hosting some invitational tribes tournaments, which is great because I think people are still, now that NASL has announced that they'll pick up tribes and they will be using it as one of their competitive games, which first off, FPS, deathmatch style games, oh yeah, tribes, hell yeah.
Oh man,
so,
I still can't get used to tribes, man.
Well, here's the thing, too, that I think that a lot of people in the community are really guessing. They don't know how it's going to pan out. So it's great that, for instance, like Level Up is doing these invitational tournaments where not only are they getting to test the game on the competitive side, but then also like the actual shoutcasting side. Because what Tribes is doing, or the development team is doing what the development team is doing is they're being really active and making a very good spectator mode. So it's easy to watch games. But as far as shoutcasting, like if it's, a big team game, it's going to be really hard to shoutcast, like switching between everybody and know exactly all what's going on. So it's just kind of experimental, and they're getting ready for the upcoming season.
And everyone's flying around at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
1,000,000 miles an hour.
That's freaking crazy.
And then I also want to comment that Clanbase is getting ready for their 15th season of Nations Cup. And the captain's voting is taking place right now. If you don't know, it is a major, major, major Quake tournament talking about team deathmatch games. So we're going to wait and see how the captains roll out, and then we'll actually see how the teams roll out as well. And that, again, is kind of like the same the country where it's like USA has a team, France has a team, Germany has a team, and they'll all battle against each other.
USA.
USA! 2012, we're taking everything. We got this.
Vote in esports in 2012.
Although, I have one more thing that I want to mention. Talking about team deathmatch games, actually Capture the Flag to be specific. There's a little thing out there, this little event called the International Doom League.
What?
Yes.
What?
For all you kids out there that don't know, Doom 2 is still played competitively. What? Yes. And the International Doom League has been running for a very long time.
You're a liar.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Like, it's like internationaldoomleague.org. Just Google International Doom League, and you will find their site. And legit, they have stats that are so like upkept that it's crazy. Like,
yeah, I looked at the site. I'm just kidding. I know it exists. It's
so
this
good.
Site's cool.
It's so good. But anyway,
are you all right over there?
Yeah.
You need a napkin?
I'll wipe up after the table later.
Should that be the code word Doom Orgasm?
Doom Orgasm.
That's not the code.
That's not. Well,
or I don't know. Jason would probably be like, "What the hell are you guys talking about?"
But anyway. They've started their 2012 winter season, and they're in week 1. They're actually going to wrap up not till March. But if you're interested in seeing Doom 2 competitively, possibly one of the first major competitive online games, then check that out. And hopefully we may end up getting a little bit more video coverage this season, so people can see how it's actually played. It's so good. It's fast.
You know what's better than Doom 2?
What's better than Doom 2?
Doom 2 Mega Man 8-bit Deathmatch.
Mega Man 8-bit Deathmatch.
Oh, got thumbs up back there.
It's a Doom 2 mod where you play as Mega Man.
It's pretty sweet.
It's
not
great.
Gonna lie.
It's good stuff.
Great game.
Great game.
Experience.
Great
mods. Oh, jeez. Also, Apex.
Fighting games.
Ooh. Got some cool stuff coming up with Apex. So what's going on with Apex in January?
For those of you who don't know, the Super Smash Brothers community is actually still active, still very active actually. And Apex is kind of their that is like the biggest, I'm going to flat out say it. Apex is the biggest Smash Brothers tournament.
It's like Evo.
Yeah, it's like
Smash Brothers.
It's Evo for Smash Brothers only.
Yay.
But don't
hurt us, Evo people.
It's still exciting to watch. It's still a great tournament. They already have I don't know if they have the seedings, but they already have like Mewtwo King has already signed up and a lot of the other top players, so that'll be fun to watch. And then the last little bit, Josh, you told me a little bit earlier, the big announcement.
Evo. Today, as in when we're recording this,
right.
Tuesday. Announced all of the games that were going on next season.
Ooh.
And what are they, Mike?
Well, we have the regulars, which
obviously,
if I say regulars, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You have Super Street Fighter 4, which will be using the new 2012 edition, kind of the patch, kind of the update, which is great because the community kind of demanded it. And now we have a new. It's not, not watching the same game over and over does it get stale. But like for instance, like last season we had Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is great. I love watching it. I love the game. But now we have Ultimate,
right.
So it's just kind of like an update, new characters, things like that.
I can't play that game.
So good. But on the other side of that, we actually have King of Fighters 13, which is a new that'll get picked up. We have Soul Calibur 5, which is again a new game that they're picking up, and then the last bit is Street Fighter X Tekken, which
isn't out yet.
I know the community is kind of in an uproar about. There's a lot of stuff going on about that game specifically, so we'll see what happens. And then they also Mortal Kombat 9.
Yes.
They also that's coming back again. So 3 games that are returning, 3 brand new games for the 2012 season.
Right. And there's some crazy stuff going on Twitter. We had Justin Wong, which was excited about King of Fighters, and he was like, I have to sit down and figure this game out now. And he also was like, I am not playing Mortal Kombat.
It's funny because I actually seen Ricky Ortiz send out a Twitter or a tweet. A Twitter. I'm still new to Twitter.
Mike is from 1999.
I still use Internet Explorer. I do. Like legit. Anybody can attest to this. Ricky's laughing his head off. I still use Internet Explorer. But anyway.
I think we found our code word. The code word is Mike stop. Mike? All right. Stop it's hashtag Mike stop using IE. Okay? Mike stop using IE. Oh. And then afterwards, if you want to, put in some other message to Mike, like you are dumb or whatever. Like
make a thread on Reddit.
But seriously though, is hashtag Mike stop using IE. All right, that it's as simple as that. You don't have to write anything else. But at BossFight TV, at iHeart Esports. Continue.
Anyway, so this magical message that I read online was sent out
on them internet.
Ricky Ortiz actually, he like legit. It was as simple as this: glad Mortal Kombat 9 got picked up again for Evo. Period. Not gonna play it. Period.
No love for the MK9, man.
No.
I can't remember. I think it was Mark Mann. Someone said something like,
oh, it was Mark Mann.
He was like, it's good that it's back, and the community was fighting for it. But some of those bigger players just aren't going to play it.
I thought you were talking about Mark Mann actually said Evo Predictions 2012.
Yeah, that was funny. It was Evo Predictions 2012, and he had a list of fighting games, but he snuck in StarCraft 2 and League of Legends like randomly in there. And I tweeted, I'm like, what?
Yeah. And then Sir Scroots were like, he's like, let's do it.
Sir Scoots retweeted that shit. He was like, Evo, StarCraft 2 all the way. Oh, man. So Evo should be pretty sweet next year. I'm not going to lie. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other announcements, especially since they made those announcements. I'm sure they're going to start announcing the qualifiers and things of that nature as well.
Yeah, they're doing it again this year where they actually have some of the, I'm not going to say smaller tournaments, but some of the other tournaments.
Some of the home-brewed tournaments.
To where they act as the qualifier so players can get seeding points. That way going into Evo, they can get a higher seed guaranteed rather than just walk in and hope that they get a good placement.
For sure.
Which is great. Community activity. Keep it up.
For sure. And now, moving on to our outro, I do want to remind everybody to check out BossFight.tv. There's a really cool interview with Vile Illusion up there. Erica, also known as Alpha, sat down and chatted with him. And it's a really cool interview because Illusion is pretty young compared to a lot of the other pros out there. So it's a really cool read. And maybe eventually we could do a more in-depth video interview. So be on the lookout later on down the road. But in general, as we said last episode when we talked about our future plans, there'll be a lot more interviews coming out. So again, stay tuned to the website, all that good stuff. And don't forget the code word, hashtag Mike stop using IE. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but Mike stop using IE. It'll be on the bottom of the little video here. So I don't even get you, man.
I'm used to it. I know how it works. It's like keeping an old car. Yeah, there's a cooler, newer one out that maybe, that works. It's like I'm driving a station wagon and you're driving a Mustang. I like my station wagon.
That's them's fighting words. Mustangs, man.
Sorry, you drive a Camaro. My bad. Mistake.
I don't know if I agree with that analogy. That's like saying that I have like like an old school.
Okay. You want to get in it? Okay. Everybody ready? Mohawk Mike uses Windows 7. Josh, what is your OS?
I actually have my desktop does run Vista.
Oh.
But my laptop has Windows 7 on it.
Hashtag Josh, stop using Vista.
Don't confuse everybody. In all honesty, my argument with that is I don't feel like deleting all this stuff off my hard drive and starting over. The day that my computer gets massively infected with viruses, which this is not an invitation to infect my computer.
I'll tweet out his IP address later.
It's not, but I will one day.
Anyway, I think that wraps it up.
That wraps it up. So definitely want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys are still enjoying the show. And as always, you can email us, staff@bossfight.tv, or tweet at us at BFTV_Mohawk Mike or at MLG Antipro. Let us know what you think. If you have any cool ideas, just throw them at us. So I am Josh Engel, signing off, also known as Antipro.
And I'm Mike Bisson, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike, thanking you for supporting esports in whatever capacity you do, and thank you for considering.